talking with Daniel, starting up your own business in Finland as a foreigner. So
Yes.
Daniel's originally from the US, but he is settling down in Finland, and I'm Finn and living in Finland all my life, and the last 10 years I've been running various of businesses from tech to real estate. The first thing is, of course, you need to have the residence permit. So you are now in the process right now.
Yeah, so I'm right in the middle of the process.
You're in the middle of the process.
Yeah, so you have 90 days upon arrival to submit a package for whatever visa you're going to have, whether it be student, working, or residency permit, and then you can get a permit after 4. But right now I'm in the process, so you have to do that first and get the authorization to live in the country and then the authorization to work in the country as well. And so that's the first step. And then the second step, they have, I don't know if you did any startup grants when you first started, probably not.
No, I haven't, but I know how the process works. So,
yeah. Do you want to talk about that and how the startup grants work for new entrepreneurs?
Yeah, well, basically, so far as I know, the startup grant is that you need to have like a proper business plan at first. You need to have something on paper, and you need to know what you are doing. So that is what you can apply for the startup grant, and there have to be some grants for the business. Mm-hmm. And also, together with the startup grant, you can also apply for the startup visa. So if you have plans to stay longer here, you can also make the submission to the Finnish immigration about, hey, I want to be an entrepreneur, I have a business plan, I have a great idea, I'm gonna make it work, and you send it there, and if everything is good, they show you the green light, and you get the visa for a startup. And I think it is initially for a couple of years, and then you revalidate after these years. But usually this is a much faster way than getting the original work permit, because I think Finland really wants new entrepreneurs, new companies, not only from tech sector, but also like if you have a different talents, you can use that talent to get that visa and to get the business started. So starting up the company is actually, it is much easier process than getting the residence permit. It is the limited company is usually the way that I suggest. Like the limited company is that you own the company by its shares. So your responsibilities and duties are limited to those shares. So LLC is, I think it's pretty much the same it is in the US. So it's a company owned by shares. So there is the owner, and in Finland you actually need 2 persons minimum to have on a limited company, and it means that you as the owner, you are the CEO, but then you need like a second person if something happens to you, so he's going to take over the duties and closing the company if you get sick or something happens. So basically the usual way is that there is some of your cousin or friend or girlfriend, he can be the second person of the company. So this is what you need, and the registration fee is a couple €100. I think it's maybe 300-400 euros. So you go to the bank, open the bank account, and start sending invoices, and the money starts flowing in.
Yeah. Do you need a I think it's EIN in the States, so the company name. So your LLC has to be open before you can open a bank account for it.
Yes. So first you need to have the name for the company. You send this for registration. It takes a couple of weeks, and when they show the green light for the name, so they approve the name, then the company is established, and after that you go to the bank, and then you get the bank account and cards, everything opened.
Okay.
So that's how it works. So all this stuff you can do online, but for the bank you usually have to visit the bank by yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
To get the bank account and the cards. And that is what you need, the minimal, but I suggest that it's good to have also accountant for the company. Of course you can do it by yourself, but especially if you are not local, it is good to have an accountant, and accountant costs you something like 30 to 50 euros a month.
Okay.
Depending, of course, the transactions you have.
Yeah.
But it is wise to have this accountant because they will prepare all the tax forms, and there is less opportunity that you screw things up because it is a small investment for the peace of mind.
Yeah, and here in Finland, correct me if I'm wrong, all of the laws and all that governs how the LLCs work and everything, it's in Swedish and Finnish.
Yeah.
And so they're not in English.
So but you can do the accounting in English, so it's not a problem. So you can do that all in English, and I think even the tax agency now has all these online forms in English.
Oh, okay.
So you can submit all these like monthly tax form, everything. I think you can do this all in English.
Okay.
So it is very easy.
And how
for you as a
important
foreign.
would you say learning Finnish, starting up a company here would be?
I think you don't need to learn any Finnish to start up the company here. So you can just go ahead with English. We have a lot of English entrepreneurs here, from restaurants to tech business, anywhere, and they haven't spoken a word of Finnish.
Yeah.
So it is possible to run the company just totally in English.
Okay.
And do all the accounting, everything. So it's not a problem. So yeah. So it is very easy to get things started, and of course, if you are living in EU area anyways, then you can start the company without the residence permit, so you don't need any permits for that. But if you come outside the EU, then it is needed for you to get either the startup visa or the work visa to start up a company.
Yeah.
But of course, you can be the owner of the company even you don't have any visa. But then I think in the board you have to have at least one Finnish person.
Okay.
So this is how it works if you don't have these visas. But it is all very straightforward and very easy to deal with, and also you don't have to use any law agency. Everything can be done online and directly with the agencies, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. Did you have anyone check over, like, when you were going over and creating your LLCs? Did you have anyone that you like ran it out by or anything like that?
No, absolutely not, because you can do here in Finland everything by yourself.
Okay.
So you just go to online bank and you sign in with your digital identity.
Okay.
And you don't need any attorney or any legal agency for that. So it's very easily done online.
Okay.
So that's how it works, and this is what I'm really proud of the Finnish system. So it is very straightforward and easy for anyone, and also very equal because you don't need so much capital to start up the business.
Okay. Yeah, because in the States, you really need to, like, at least from what I hear, is that you need to be very, very careful as you create your LLC, because there's so many different styles. Every state has their own LLC style.
Oh, so there are different styles on LLC. So it's better to use some attorney
to do it. To figure it out and meddle through all of that. And with protections of an LLC in Finland, is there anything different that Finland has from other countries that use LLCs?
So I think especially the Nordic countries like Finland, Sweden, Norway, these are very similar. The system is very, very similar on LLCs, and the protection is quite the same. So we have only like two forms of LLCs. One is the private LLC, which the most, and then the second is the public LLC. Is that if you're going to list your company in the stock market, then you go with the public LLC. But we have only two forms of LLC, and these are very simple, and it's basically the same everywhere. And what comes to protection, of course, if you do some bad business, you put all the money to your pocket, and then you're going to the jail. But otherwise, like you're gonna be fine if you work honestly and you pay your taxes and make everything on time with accountant, and it's all gonna be well protected, and you can sleep your nights well.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think of another question.
Yeah.
Let's think.
The best advice is just do it and just get things started. And always it is better that you start the company and then start selling, because it's giving a better image to your potential clients, to your partners, that you already have the company. You can start building immediately. So always it's good to have the company running. And for example, the same company can do multiple different kind of businesses. For example, I have a tech company, but the same tech company, this Valfa, is also owning these real estate properties. It's just another income flow for the company, and the company can do various kind of different businesses. So it's all possible. You don't need to create another companies for different businesses. And of course, then if you want to sell some part of the business, then it is wise to have maybe multiple companies. But when you are starting up the things, don't make it over complex. Just have one single company, and you can do a lot of stuff with the one single company.
Okay. And for tax purposes and tax planning, how does that work with the LLCs, and how are you able to like write things off, and how does that work here in Finland?
Well, it is quite straightforward. So you have like 20% tax, but this is tax from the profit. So it is after all the expenses and everything. So for example, if you are doing this Airbnb booking.com business, you can write off all the maintenance expenses. You have expenses from furniture, food, all that stuff. You can write it off. If you are buying something like computer or camera, there is a rule that you can write off maximum 25% per year. So you have to spread it over 4 years to deduct the cost. All the travel expenses you can write off, all the services, of course, all the salaries, everything. So it is 20% tax. And then how do you get then the money out from the company to your own private bank account? Is that when you generate enough profit, you can either take salary or you can take dividends. And dividends is 75% tax free. Of course, you have to pay first a 20% tax, but 75% is tax free, and 25% is based on the capital gains tax, which is 30%, but is the effective tax rate for LLC for dividends is about 23-24%.
Okay.
So it is quite tax efficient. And as you know, the Finns have the progressive tax rate. So if you are taking a lot of money out as a normal salary, your highest tax rate can be up to 50%. So it's pretty high. But if you take it out as a dividends, you can reduce a lot your tax load.
Okay.
So it is advisable that you take out the dividends. But there is also this rule that you have to have at least some capital first in the company. So the dividends can be maximum 4% of the value of your company.
Okay.
So maximum 4%. And if it's more, then you have to pay a bit more tax on it. Okay. But if you take the maximum 4% of the whole value of the company, then it's gonna be 75% tax free. So, but your accountant will explain these things, but the main idea is that you should definitely start the LLC, start working for your company, buy or rent all the properties to your company, because then you can write off more expenses, and it's a much more efficient way to operate through the company than through the private person, and also you have more protection if something goes wrong.
Actually,
Thank
you
you
too.
for
You're gonna have
coming
to remind
to
me of that too.